The Symbolical Significance of the Tabernacle by Ginzberg. The separate parts of the tabernacle had each a symbolical significance, for to all that is above there is something corresponding below. There are stars above, but likewise below, where a star shall come out of Jacob. God has his hosts above, and likewise below, his people Israel, the hosts of the Lord. Above there are Ophanim, and on earth likewise there is an Ophan. Above, God has cherubim, and likewise below in the sanctuary of Israel. God hath his dwelling above, but likewise below. And lastly, God hath stretched out the heavens above like a curtain, and below in the sanctuary were curtains of goat's hair. 346. The number of curtains, also, corresponds to those in heaven, for just as there are 11 upper heavens, so also were there 11 curtains of goat's hair. 347. The size of the tabernacle was 70 cubits, corresponding to the 70 holy days celebrated annually by the Jews, to wit, 52 Sabbaths, 7 days of Passover, 8 of Tabernacles, and a day each for Pentecost, the Day of Atonement, and New Year's Day. The number of vessels amounted to 70 also, as likewise God, Israel, and Jerusalem bear 70 names, and as, correspondingly, in the time between the building of the first and of the second temple, there were 70 consecutive Sanhedrin. 348. Like the tabernacle, so the altar, too, had its symbolical significance. Its length and its breadth were 5 cubits each, corresponding respectively to the 5 commandments on the 2 tables of the law. Its height was 3 cubits, corresponding to the 3 deliverers God sent to deliver Israel from Egypt, Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. It had 4 horns in the corners thereof, to atone for the sins of the people that on Sinai received 4 horns, the horn of the Torah, the horn of the Shekinah, the horn of priesthood, and the horn of the kingdom. 349. In the tabernacle, as later in the temple, gold, silver, and brass were employed, but not iron. God meant to indicate by the exclusion of iron that in the future time, the golden Babylon, the silver Media, and the brazen Greece would be permitted to bestow the gifts on the new temple, but not the iron Rome. It is true that Babylon also destroyed the sanctuary of God, like Rome, but not with such fury and such thoroughgoing wrath as Rome, whose sons cried, raise it, even to the foundations thereof. And for this reason Rome may not contribute to the Messianic temple. And as God will reject the gifts of Rome, so also will the Messiah, to whom all the nations of the earth will have to offer gifts. Egypt will come with her gifts, and although the Messiah will at first refuse to accept anything from the former taskmaster of Israel, God will say to him, the Egyptians granted my children an abode in their land, do not repulse them. Then the Messiah will accept their gift. After Egypt will follow her neighbor, Ethiopia, with her gifts, thinking that if the Messiah accepted gifts from the former taskmaster of Israel, he will also accept gifts from her. Then the Messiah will also accept Ethiopia's gifts. After these 2 kingdoms will follow all others with their gifts, and all will be accepted save those from Rome. This kingdom will be sorely disappointed, for depending upon their kinship with Israel, they will expect kind treatment from the Messiah, who had graciously received the other nations not connected with Israel. But God will call out to the Messiah, roar at this monster that devours the fat of nations, that justifies its claims for recognition through being a descendant of Abraham by his grandson Esau, the nation that forgives all for the sake of money, that kept Israel back from the study of the Torah, and tempted them to deeps that are in accord with the wishes of Satan. 350.